Hey y'all, Ammo Wizard here. Been a long day. This rain will not stop. Uh, I want to talk to you today about the bill that was proposed a couple of days in Mississippi. This bill was proposed by, six of your Republicans party. So, my hat goes off to them. I want to thank them for stepping up and coming up with this. Great people. And I want to thank those people in those states and pretty much the people in my state for stepping up and voting and making the right people, supporting the right people to be in office and everything. That's huge, guys. We're going to have to vote. And these people that's already in, we're going to have to vote them out. All right, so let's get to it. The bill that was proposed in Mississippi is like your Second Amendment sanctuary counties on steroids. It's for the whole state, and there are 8 other states that is joining this. 8 other states, so a total of 9 states as of right now that's involved in this. I don't know if they're going to attach to that bill or if they're going to write their own form of bills for this, but it's a bill for the interstate commerce, which means it's like I said, it's Second Amendment sanctuary cities, counties, states, or whatever on steroids. This is huge, guys. This is probably our last defense. If we can get this passed, this will be our last defense against tyranny. Fighting in the system. So, it's a big FU to the government and to everybody that wants to bring this gun control shit here. Don't bring that gun control shit here because we ain't going to have it. The parts in the bill are to nullify and avoid any federal laws that are prohibited on firearms, accessories, magazines, ammo, probably your bulletproof vest and everything else. Anything that's introduced into firearms that violates our Second Amendment is going to be null and void under this law if this is passed. And it's going to be in 9 states as of right now. Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, West Virginia, and Kentucky, and Louisiana. So those states are on board, and my hat goes off to every one of y'all in that state. Sounds like everybody is smart, educated, and has got common sense when it comes to this. So the bill is going to nullify any federal laws that come down on, firearms, accessories, magazines, anything like that. And it's against the Real ID Act of 2005 that's supposed to be enacted sometime. It's against that, and that's also in the bill. And the interstate commerce, which means like the importation of any materials. What they're saying is that these states that enact this bill or this law is going to have to import materials in their own state and manufacture it in their own state, which means if Kentucky does it, we can't get anything from Michigan because Michigan won't be allowed to have it, but Kentucky will, Tennessee, Georgia will, West Virginia, the great states will. So it's going to mean they can't restrict any importation of any gun parts, any steel, aluminum, wood, polymer, plastic, brass, lead, anything that requires to make anything for firearms or firearm accessories, which means we have to import it in our state, and it has to be manufactured in our state. So it has to be stamped by made in Kentucky, made in Georgia, made in West Virginia, serial number, registration for that time and date that it was made and when and where it was made. It has to be manufactured in those states that's on board with this if every one of us get it passed. That's why it's so huge. That's why it's like the Second Amendment sanctuary on steroids, because it basically turns us into our own nation, our own country. what goes on here is controlled by here only. The people in our capitals, the people in our local governments, not federal governments. So that is huge, guys, and I'm going to be trying to track this as much as possible. I'll be making more videos as soon as I get information on that. But yeah, it's huge. It nulls, voids any federal laws, and it stops them from making restrictions on materials to be imported just because they think it may be used for firearms. That's not going to be allowed. We are going to be allowed to import those materials to make it in our own states. Which means we're allowed to have our AR-15s with our 100-round drums from West Virginia all the way down to Georgia. So West Virginia into Kentucky, in Kentucky to Tennessee, from Tennessee to Georgia, I do believe. If those states are connected the way I think they were, I'm not too good at knowledge of the map, guys, but I believe it is. So if you're not going to cross any other state lines and those states are involved, we can have free travels between those states. And there's 9 of them involved so far. So this is huge. This is like a big bubble, big shield for our Second Amendment. It's telling the federal government to go F off, that we're not going to have its gun control shit. So, don't even be bringing this gun control shit here because we ain't going to have it. So, that's awesome, guys. This is huge. This is huge. Like I said, this is probably our last stand in the system. So, and again, my hats go off to everybody in the states who made that happen, whether it's your governors, your politicians, and your people that elected those people. That's what we need. We need more people to step up and vote the right people in and vote the wrong people out. It's Ammo Wizard. Out, y'all.